All right, guys, here we go. This new microphone thing seems to be working pretty well, so we're going to keep going with it. And now it's time for summary of Book 6 through 10 of Beowulf. You'll have to excuse the background noise if you hear anything. My daughter is in the basement watching reruns of How I Met Your Mother on Hulu. That's just how we roll in this family. I let my 8-year-old child watch a highly inappropriate show filled with sexual innuendo. It's great. All right, so keeping with that theme, pop open your brain tanks there, bro, because I got some premium grade high octane knowledge I'm going to dump in there for you. Here we go. Book 6 through 10. All right. Book 6. Now remember, book 1 through 5 is basically just introducing Beowulf and getting us to Hrothgar's kingdom. And in book 5, I'm going to double check real quick here. Book 5, Beowulf gets to where Hrothgar is. Now, apparently they're still using Heorot during the day because Grendel only comes out at night and terrorizes people if they are hanging out in Heorot. So, here we are. We're at Heorot. Beowulf is getting ready to talk to Hrothgar for the first time. Book 6 is Hrothgar saying, "Hey, yeah, I know that Beowulf dude, so send him on in. He sounds like he's pretty cool." So, Beowulf shows up, talks to Hrothgar, says, I'm here to fight Grendel. And he makes some pretty big boasts right about now. He says basically, since Grendel doesn't fight with a sword, I'm going to fight him with my bare hands. And I'm going to kill him. And if I don't, then I'll die trying. So on page 10, he says, "And I now by my single hand shall bring Grendel the demon, the giant one, to judgment." So that's book 6. And he's at the end, he says, "Weird goeth ever as she must." And remember, weird is that concept, W-Y-R-D. It's that concept of fate. Again, kind of intermingled with the references to a Christian God. He says, if it's my time to die, it's my time to die. If that's my fate, then that's my fate. But I'm going to fight Grendel with my bare hands, and I'm going to win. So Hrothgar says, "Hey, I remember your family, and this sounds like it's going to be a good deal, so we're going to start passing around some pretty good mead, and we're going to eat, and we're going to drink, and we're going to celebrate." And they clear a bench for Beowulf and the Geatmen to sit, and then that's book 7. Book 8, there's this dude named Hunferth, and Hunferth he's jealous. He's envious. He's like, "Hey, Beowulf, I heard of you. Aren't you that guy who was out there swimming for a week with this dude named Brecca? And didn't you leave him to die when he was going to beat you?" And that's book 8. And Beowulf says, "All right, Hunferth, listen here. I'm going to tell you what really happened. So let me tell you the story." And Beowulf talks about how he and Brecca were in the ocean swimming for 5 days and 5 nights. They had their swords out in their hands. They're swimming along. They're fighting sea snakes and monsters. And then one of them grabbed Beowulf by the ankle, dragged him down to the bottom of the sea, but he was able to hack his way free with his sword. And then when he got back to the shore, he noticed that Brecca was not there. Book 9 starts off with him continuing this story. Says, "Dawn came, I ended up on the beach in the Finns land, and I don't know whatever happened to Brecca. I never saw him again." And he calls out Hunferth, like throwing some major shade right now. Says, "Listen, dude, if you were really as big and brave as you say you are, then I wouldn't be here because you already would have handled Grendel. But you never did anything great in battle. Brecca never did anything great in battle. And I'm better than both of you put together." So he's like, "Sit down, shut up, and I'm going to do my deal." And totally just forgot the king's name. Hrothgar. And Hrothgar loves this. Sorry, no, Hrothgar. Hrothgar loves this. And he's like, all right, dude, sounds cool. And out comes the queen, Walkthale. And Walkthale comes around with a cup, and she like passes the cup around to everybody to get them to drink. She gets to Beowulf, and he looks at her and says, "This I purposed." This is bottom of page 13. "This I purposed when I went upon the deep, boarded the sea craft with my fellowship, that I should either work the will of your people wholly, or fall in the fray, fast in the fiend's grip. Either I will do deeds befitting my birth, or meet my last day in this mead hall. So either I'm going to take this guy down or I'm going to die trying." And he says, if that's my fate, then that's my fate. And Walktheo loves what she hears. She, it says, the words, the vaunt of the Geat, pleased the lady, and her deckings of gold she passed on to sit, the freeborn folk queen beside her lord. So, people are speaking and they're talking and laughing and having a good time, and they're eating and drinking. And then Hrothgar gets ready to leave for the night. And he looks at Beowulf. This is on page 14. "Never since I might lift hand or shield have I ever given over in trust this mighty house of the Danes to any of men, save now to thee. Have now and hold this fairest of houses, bear thy greatness in mind, make known the might of thy prowess, watch against the foe. No lack shall be thine of things worth having if thou come forth with thy life from this mighty task." He promises Beowulf, if you do everything you say you're going to do, and if you're as good as you say you are, I'm going to make you a rich man. So, they continue to drink and party, and then suddenly Hrothgar decides it's time for bed. So he and Walktheo and all of his warriors, they leave, and Beowulf and his men get ready for bed. Beowulf, at this point, strips down naked and lays himself down to sleep, gives his sword and his armor and everything over to one of his warriors, says, hang on to this, and if I die, then make sure that the appropriate people know. He lays down to sleep, and Book 10 ends with Grendel sneaking up to Heorot. So, that's books 6 through 10. Quick summary. If you've got questions, make sure you email me. And reading assignments for next week will be up on Monday morning. So, we'll see you then, guys.